Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gigi from ComicWow coming at you from Baltimore Comic-Con 2014, and I am proud to be here with Michael Allen Nelson, who is the creator of Hexed, which we're going to talk about today. So first, tell everybody what the story Hexed is about.
Hexed is basically about a young woman by the name of Lucifer, the nickname Lucifer, who makes her living as a thief in this magical and mystical underworld. Basically, she steals bad things from bad people. So if there's an artifact out there that could cause problems, she makes sure she gets her hands on it before a bad guy does and uses it for nefarious purposes.
How long was this story stewing in your mind? Or where was the inspiration from it?
Oh, well, she's been in my mind for a while. I created her as a character a while ago for a series I wrote called Fall of Cthulhu, and just we all loved her so much. We're like, well, let's take her out of this sort of like Lovecraftian universe and put her in a universe of my own. And so that allowed me to really go into some fun places with her and kind of make her more snarky than what she was earlier, which I kind of like. I like to have a character that I can be snarky with, because I don't get to do that very often.
Yeah, so it's not like your present day life where you can like actually react that way, so you kind of get to react out on the page, or are you snarky?
No, that's exactly it, because being a writer means I don't have to think instantly on the spot, so I get to sit down and take my time, because I'm not that quick, clever guy. I can't do that. So I'm like, oh, I could have said this in response like an hour later. I finally figured it out. So
exactly. So what is it like seeing something as a creator that goes from in your mind and then see it come to fruition out on the pages? Like, what is that like?
It is the coolest thing in the world. I'm not kidding. There's something about, you write the script, you write the descriptions, and then when the artist takes it and does their own thing with it and really brings it to life, it's better than anything that I could have imagined. Anything I could have imagined. Emma Rios is the artist on the first mini that I did of Hex. And again, it was the same thing. It's just like, oh my gosh, look what she's doing. This is amazing. Running around showing people like, have you seen this? And of course, now she's a rock star. And now we've got a new guy, Dan Morrow, who's doing the new series. And again, it's the same thing. It's like Christmas morning. Every day I get an email with these new images. It's so cool. It really is. And what that does is it also inspires me. Encourages me to want to tell more stories. Because as every creator will probably tell you, that you get to a point where you kind of like hit a wall and you're just uninspired and it's difficult to do the job. But once that artwork comes in, it just really makes you want to do more.
Thinking back to on your childhood, what was the story that first comes to mind, your first creative story that you did? Was it something really small when you were younger? Or is it something that
I wrote a story when I was in 6th grade about a kid who goes back in time. And because my dad was a big reader, and he had mentioned the word paradox, in talking about one of the books that he read. I can't remember which book it was, but anyway, he mentioned this concept of a paradox, and young 10-year-old me was like, that's so cool. I'm going to use that in the story. So I handwritten the story, drew little horrible little illustrations. But this guy goes back in time and accidentally blows up a nuclear bomb, which kills his grandfather, which ended up destroying him. So it was this weird sort of thing. But I just love the word paradox. I'm like, I'm going to do a story about that, not really having an idea how to, So that was really the first time I had I had really sat down to write a story.
All right. So you're working on another series now, Daemon, right? So tell us what that's about.
That is, the way I like to describe it is it's a vampire story about a human. The idea is that there are 50 vampire families in the world, like mafia families, and each family needs someone to take care of their business during the day, a Daemon. Could be something as simple as, protection, could be making a deposit at the bank, could be cleaning up a quote-unquote feeding accident from the night before. And so this story is about one particular Daemon, David Reed, as his family is about to go to war with another family. So it's a vampire noir story.
Okay, so why does Daemon agree to help the vamp family? Can he be trusted, or are there ulterior motives?
No. He can absolutely be trusted. The idea is that it's almost like a fraternity. You're trained from a very young age to become a Daemon, and so the gentleman who created it, Matt Gagnon, likes to describe it like the NFL draft. When a vampire family needs a new Daemon, they sort of like go through all the possible options. Like, well, we like this guy. Our family's in sort of more of a war mode or more of a peace mode. Well, which Daemon's going to best suit us? It's kind of like looking for a pet, basically.
It's amazing the way you talk about it. I feel like this is a real thing in real life. The way that you literally think, it's like you're like, so this is what happens when they need a new Daemon. They go through it, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that. Like, I feel like you're telling me facts. Like I'm like learning the whole process.
Well, this is what's great about this about Daemon is that we created this incredibly rich universe, but we're only seeing a small part of it. But the rest of the universe that we're not really seeing still informs what's happening in the story. And artist Brian Stelfreeze, who is a master of the medium, is doing so much with that storytelling, and he's adding so much, and he's able to sort of drop hints of that greater universe that we've created without, doing the whole encyclopedic. These are the 50 families. This is the history. We don't care about any of that because that's not important to this particular story. It's there and it informs the story, but we don't want to spend too much time taking away from the actual story. So, but Brian's really good about sort of like putting in little hints there, and
you definitely have a knack for the fantastical stories. Between Hexed and Daemon, it definitely takes your imagination on a journey. So last time ComicWow spoke with you, you were working on a project you couldn't exactly talk about right away. Can you talk about it now?
No.
It's another to be continued for us. That's fine. We get it. It just leaves us wanting more. Yes. All right. Well, Michael Allen Nelson, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck with the rest of the con. Everybody check out Hexed and Daemon, correct? And you can find out more on ComicWow.com. I'm Gigi. You're welcome.